This is April 10th, 2017. I've come up a canyon. The road's closed, so I went beyond the barrier, and I found this set of tracks going up the hill. Now, on the left is my set of tracks, and I just walked the best I could. It's fairly steep, but it doesn't look it from the photos. And here's a set of footprints that are already in the snow from when I got here. Now, it snowed here on Saturday. This is Monday. So these tracks would have had to have been put in the snow from that time on. You notice how they're fairly in a straight line. They have been hit by the sun. The sun's out today. It's been really warm since it snowed, but the road's still closed here. And you can see my tracks. Now, I've got a good size foot. My tracks are size 14 shoes. These tracks are wider, particularly than mine. And the same length, they're longer. But they look considerably different. I've got my f-stop up to 1/2000th, so hopefully with this bright sun these will still show up. It's hard to say because I can't really see the screen very well because the bright sun off the snow. That one has what I believe may be toes up under the snow, but it's hard to say. And here's from the bottom the rows on the tracks. Mine are on the left, and then I came down sidestepping, you can see, because it is steep. It doesn't look that steep here, but it's really steep and slippery. And the far right is a set of tracks that are already here. They're wide spaced, they're larger than my feet, particularly wider, and you know, I don't think any human made those things. They go right up into the hill, and I went as high as I could. It just got too steep and too slippery for the snow. So anyway, that's what we got. And here's a close-up of my shoes and a close-up of one of the other tracks. Though granted, they're melted and it's hard to say. Okay, here's another row of tracks that are in a bank of snow that's right on the road. And the size, you know, could be melted, but there's some that look like they've got toes, and again, they're in a very straight line. I'll walk near them and show you how mine compare. This one appears to have toes. We've got a couple of tracks crossing each other. I made my own tracks nearby, and my feet are much narrower. They're about the same length. Again, I wear a size 14 shoe. And they're cantered more out. Now maybe I walk two-legged, I don't know, but the problem is the sun is so cotton thick and bright. I have no idea how these tracks are going to show up because of the terrible reflection. And they could be somebody with boots, but the point I'm making is that the size of it is a concern to me, as it is the fact that they're pretty much in a straight line and they aren't cantered at the same kind of angle that my feet are. I think my tracks are pretty normal. Here's a very long set of tracks in a straight line going downhill in the snow. Now these are much further spread out than you'd have to be running basically to do that. Again, it snowed Saturday night. This is Monday at about 1 in the afternoon. So these things were made Saturday, probably Sunday night. They're too melted to be this morning, so they would have had to have been made. And this is really interesting pair. These are a little narrower, a little different individual. That track right there appears to have toes. Again, that appears to have toes on this particular track. I'll walk next to it so you can compare my stride to this. The reflection again is so bright I can't even see in my viewfinder, but there on the right is the original set of tracks that were here, and there on the left is a set that I've added. You can see how mine are cantered out, not as much of a straight line. Smaller in size and not as spread apart. Human set of tracks, you can see the tread in the track about the same age. These had to have been made yesterday then, and you can see how they're cantered out. They're not my tracks, somebody else's. A little smaller than mine, but wider feet, so probably boots, and not anywhere near as spread out as these other tracks I've been photographing. Now here's a pretty good comparison of what are human prints. I can see tread in the bottom of these tracks. Notice again how they're offset and they're cantered out. No doubt these are human, and in relation to the others I've been photographing up here. Good sized, probably 12-13 inches long. This one sure looks like it has toes. It's part of that trackway that goes pretty much straight down and widespread. I photographed it a minute ago. My tracks are over on the left, and you can see how my feet are cantered out and not nearly as widely spread. So, very interesting. This one has got me thinking, I don't think this was a person here. I can't believe it is. There is my footprint on the right and the foot in the trackway on the left. Sure appears that there are toes in there. About the same size. Again, I got a size 14. Notice how I have a much more defined arch in my shoe as opposed to this track here. This had to have been made within about the last 36 hours because again we had snow a day and a half ago up here. These are melting pretty quick. I expect them to be gone by tomorrow.